She said she loved me, then blocked me everywhere, so I exposed her secret with her professor and ended her college dreams. I had everything planned, the rooftop dinner, the candles, the soft music, even the stupid roses that kept falling apart in the wind. I kept telling myself this was it, the night my life would finally make sense. When Emily walked in, she looked breathtaking. "You did all this?" she laughed, her voice echoing against the city lights. "Yeah," I said, pretending not to shake. "Guess I wanted to make sure you'd remember this night forever." She smiled. "You didn't have to go this far, Ethan." "I did," I whispered. "Because I'm about to do something crazy." Her smile froze when I pulled the ring box from my pocket. My voice cracked as I knelt. "Emily Carter, will you marry me?" For a moment, everything went quiet, no wind, no music, no sound from the world at all. She stared at me, blinking, lips parting as if words were trapped behind them. "Emily?" I said softly. She took a step back. "Ethan." You don't have to say yes right away," I added quickly, heart pounding. "Just, tell me you'll think about it." She shook her head slightly. "I need a minute." And then she turned around and walked away. I stayed there, still on one knee, the ring trembling between my fingers. The waiter awkwardly cleared his throat. "Sir, should I?" "Just leave it," I muttered, shoving the ring back into my pocket. My chest felt hollow, like someone had scooped out my heart. When I got home, I called her. Once. Twice. 10 times. Each one went straight to voicemail. I texted her, "Are you okay? Please talk to me." No reply. By morning, she'd blocked me. Everywhere. "Dude, that's brutal," Ryan said when I told him. He was sitting on my couch, scrolling through his phone. "She blocked you on everything? After a proposal?" "Yeah." I stared at my phone like it might change its mind. No message. No reason. Just gone. Ryan leaned back. "Maybe she freaked out. Girls do that sometimes." "She said she loved me, Ryan. 2 nights before that, she said I was her forever." He shrugged. "Then maybe forever ended early." "That's not funny." "Wasn't trying to be. I just don't want you spiraling." I rubbed my temples. "I can't stop replaying it, man." The way she looked at me. Like she'd seen a ghost. Ryan sighed. "You've been dating her for what, 2 years? Maybe you missed something. People don't just vanish unless there's a reason." I didn't miss anything. I stood up and paced. She was fine, happy. We were talking about apartments, travel plans, her graduation. There was no sign of this. He looked at me with pity. "Maybe she met someone." The words hit harder than I expected. "No. Emily's not like that." "You sure?" I glared at him. "Yeah. I'm sure." But later that night, when I was alone again, that doubt wouldn't leave. I scrolled through old pictures of us, her smile, her hand in mine, the way she used to lean on my shoulder when she laughed. It all felt like a lie now. I called her one last time. "Emily, please," I said into the voicemail. "If you don't want me, at least tell me why. Don't just disappear." Still nothing. 3 days passed. I barely ate. My room smelled like cold coffee and regret. Every time my phone buzzed, I hoped it was her. It never was. On the 4th night, Ryan dropped by again. "You look like hell," he said. "Thanks." He tossed me a burger. "Eat something. Then block her back." "I can't." He raised a brow. "Why not?" "Because I still love her," I said quietly. "And I can't just turn that off." Ryan sighed. "You're killing yourself over someone who won't even give you closure." "I just need to know what I did wrong," I said. "If she hated the ring, or if I embarrassed her, or—" "Ethan." His voice softened. "Sometimes it's not about you." I looked at him, but he didn't meet my eyes. "So what? I just sit here pretending she never existed?" "Pretty much," he said, trying to sound casual. That's what healing looks like. I laughed bitterly. Then I don't want to heal. He stood, patting my shoulder. You will. You just don't know it yet. When he left, I stared at the ring on my desk. It glinted under the lamplight, mocking me. I picked it up, held it tight until my hand hurt. I whispered into the empty room, "Why'd you leave me, Emily?" There was no answer. Just silence, the kind that echoes louder than any goodbye. 4 days. No calls. No texts. No explanations. Just silence that feels heavier than grief. I keep staring at her last message, "I love you too." I whisper it out loud, trying to feel something. "I love you too," I repeat, as if saying it will summon her back. It doesn't. Jenna knocks on my door. "You're still in bed? Where else should I be?" She walks in, holding 2 mugs. Coffee. Strong enough to wake the dead. Maybe even you. I sit up. "Thanks." She sits at the edge of my bed. "Any updates?" I shake my head. Still blocked. "Ethan," she sighs, "you need to stop checking your phone every 5 seconds. I just want to know why. Sometimes people don't give you that." I laugh bitterly. "So they just vanish? Pretend you never existed?" Jenna shrugs. "It happens more than you think." "Well, not to me. Not from her." She studies me for a moment. "You sure you want the truth?" "Always." "She's not the person you think she is," Jenna says softly. "You saw the signs. You just didn't want to." I frown. "What signs?" "The late-night calls. The sudden, study sessions. You told me yourself she'd get weird when you asked where she was." "That doesn't mean she was cheating," I snap. Jenna doesn't flinch. "I didn't say that. I just think she was done before you were." Her words sting. I set the coffee down. "You don't get it, Jenna. She was my future. We talked about getting a dog, about moving to Chicago after graduation." She looks down. Maybe she changed her plans. I don't reply. I grab my keys instead. I'm going to her apartment. "Ethan, don't." But I'm already out the door. The drive feels endless. Every red light feels like punishment. When I finally reach her building, her door's wide open. Empty shelves. Bare walls. No trace of her. A man from the next apartment steps out, holding a laundry basket. "You looking for Emily?" "Yeah." "She live here?" "Used to. Moved out a few days ago." "Did she say where she was going?" He shrugs. "Said she transferred universities. Packed everything up quick. Left in a cab." "Transferred? That doesn't make sense. She loved that university. She worked her whole life to get that scholarship." Back in my car, I pull out my phone. My thumb hovers over her profile picture, but I can't see anything. Still blocked. So, I create a fake account. It takes 20 minutes, but I find her. She's smiling in a picture, new city skyline behind her. Her caption reads, "To new beginnings." My chest tightens. Then I notice him. A man standing beside her, hand on her waist. Older. Confident. Too comfortable. I zoom in. A familiar face. I've seen him before, on campus, in one of her old photos. A professor. My fingers tremble as I screenshot it. I send it to Jenna with the message, "Look familiar?" She replies instantly, "Oh my God. Ethan, that's her advisor." I drop my phone on the passenger seat. My breath feels trapped in my lungs. So that's why she left. Not confusion. Not fear. Someone else. Someone powerful. Back home, Jenna's waiting at the door. "Ethan, I saw the picture. I'm so sorry. I can barely speak. She left me for him." Jenna shakes her head. "You don't know that for sure. Then why would she block me? Move cities? Smile like that? Because maybe she's ashamed. Or maybe she's running from something. Running from me, I say. Jenna touches my arm. Don't do anything stupid. I'm not. I look away. But I can't just let it go. She sighs. You can't fix people who don't want to be fixed, Ethan. I'm not trying to fix her, I whisper. I'm trying to understand her. Jenna gives a sad smile. Sometimes understanding hurts worse than losing. I don't answer. I just stare at the photo again, zoomed in on her face. The same eyes that once told me I was her forever, now looking at someone else. And for the first time, silence doesn't just hurt. It kills. I stared at the photo until my eyes burned. Emily, smiling like she'd just been handed the world, holding a man's hand across a cafe table. The caption read, "To New Beginnings." My heart twisted. New beginnings, huh? I muttered, my voice cracking. Ethan, what's wrong? Jenna called from the kitchen. I turned the screen toward her. Look. That's her. That's Emily. She leaned closer. Who's the guy? I swallowed hard. Professor William Hunt. Her advisor. Jenna frowned. Wait, the married one? The one with 2 kids? I nodded. My hands trembled. Yeah. The same one who used to help her after class. I used to pick her up sometimes. She said he was giving her extra feedback. I laughed bitterly. Guess he gave her more than that. Ethan, Jenna said softly, don't jump to conclusions. I'm not jumping, I snapped. I'm falling. And I think I just hit the ground. My phone buzzed. Ryan. I picked it up, my voice hollow. She's with him, man. Who? Emily. That professor. Hunt. There was silence on the other end before Ryan sighed. Damn. You sure? She posted a picture. Hand in hand. Caption says, "To New Beginnings." What else could it mean? Could mean anything, Ryan said. But knowing her track record lately, yeah, I get it. I clenched my jaw. You know what hurts most? I believed in her. Every excuse. Every late-night study session. Every time she said, "You're being insecure." She made me feel like I was crazy. She played you, bro, Ryan said bluntly. I told you something was off. I sank into the couch, staring at the photo again. Emily looked radiant, free. Like losing me had lifted a weight off her shoulders. She looks happy, I whispered. Yeah, Jenna said carefully, but that doesn't mean she's right. I thought I wasn't enough, I murmured. Turns out I was too real for her. Ryan exhaled. You gonna let them get away with it? What am I supposed to do? I asked. March into his class and announce he's sleeping with his student? Expose them, Ryan said coldly. Send that photo to his university email. His wife. His department head. Burn them both. Ryan. Jenna exclaimed. That's revenge, not closure. Ryan barked a laugh. Closure? She dumped him, ghosted him, and now she's flaunting her affair online. He deserves payback. Maybe, Jenna said, but destroying people won't make him feel better. It'll just make him bitter. I rubbed my temples. She was my whole life, Jenna. My mornings, my nights, my plans, all gone. And for what? Some aging professor with a shiny title? She wanted something you didn't have, Ryan said. Power. Prestige. The thrill of breaking rules. You were safe. He's dangerous. Some girls chase that. Don't make excuses for her, I muttered. She lied. She looked me in the eye and said I was her future. Jenna's voice softened. Ethan, listen. Don't let anger define what you do next. Think before you act. I stared at her for a long moment. You ever been cheated on, Jenna? She looked away. Yeah. Once. What did you do? I left, she said quietly. No drama. No revenge. Just walked away and healed. Ryan scoffed. That's weak. No, Jenna shot back, that's strength. Revenge keeps you tied to them. Letting go sets you free. Their words clashed in my head like thunder. I stood, pacing. You both make it sound simple. But it's not. She humiliated me. Made me look like a fool. Ryan leaned forward. So make her feel the same. Jenna crossed her arms. Or be the better man. I turned toward the window. Outside, the city lights blurred through the rain. Better man, I whispered. I tried that. Didn't work. Ryan's tone hardened. Then stop being nice. Nice guys finish last. Jenna sighed. And angry ones destroy themselves. I didn't respond. My phone was still in my hand, Emily's photo glowing on the screen. Her smile felt like a knife now, sweet, deliberate, final. Ethan, Jenna said quietly, what are you thinking? I exhaled slowly. I'm thinking about how easily she moved on. How she replaced me like I was nothing. Ryan's voice dropped. Then don't let her win. Win? I repeated. She already did. Silence filled the room, heavy and suffocating. Jenna finally spoke. Whatever you do next, just make sure it's something you can live with. I met her eyes. What if I can't live with any of it? Ryan stood. Then you make them pay. I looked down at my phone one last time. The picture stared back, Emily's hand intertwined with his. My stomach twisted, anger bubbling beneath my ribs. I didn't answer either of them. But deep down, I knew something inside me had shifted. A quiet decision was forming in the darkness. And once it did, there'd be no going back. I stared at my laptop screen, the cursor blinking over the university's website. My heart pounded. 2 days of searching, of hesitation, of replaying that damn photo in my head, and now, I had the number. Are you really doing this? Jenna asked from behind me. I didn't turn around. I'm not doing anything wrong, I said quietly. Just, reporting something questionable. Reporting or retaliating? Does it matter? I muttered, dialing the number. They both start with R. She sighed. Ethan, think, once you cross this line, there's no undoing it. The phone rang. My pulse thudded in my ears. University of Crestwood, Office of Academic Affairs, a woman answered crisply. Hi, I said, steadying my voice. My name's Ethan, Cooper. I'm a freelance journalist with the Chronicle Review. I'm investigating a possible conflict of interest involving a faculty member and a scholarship student. There was a pause. I see. Which faculty member? Professor William Hunt, I said. My palms were slick with sweat. He's been seen engaging in a personal relationship with one of his students, Emily Carter. She's currently attending on an academic scholarship. Her tone shifted, sharper. And what evidence do you have of this relationship? Public posts, I said. Photographs on social media. Captioned with romantic implications. I can email them to you if needed. Please do, she replied quickly. And could I get your contact number in case the committee requires further clarification? I hesitated. Sure. It's, 3124598270. A fake number I'd memorized just for this. Thank you, Mr. Cooper, she said. We take these matters very seriously. The dean's office will be informed immediately. When I hung up, I stared at my phone. My hands were shaking, but not from fear. From something darker. Jenna's voice broke the silence. You actually did it. Yeah, I whispered. I did. She sat across from me. You realize this could ruin them both? Good, I said flatly. He abuses his position. She uses him to climb higher. Why should I be the only one suffering? That's not justice, Ethan, she said softly. That's vengeance. Call it what you want, I muttered. It feels right. She looked at me sadly. You're not this person. Maybe I wasn't, I said. But she made me into him. My phone buzzed, a text from Ryan. Did you do it? I typed back, yes. It's done. Seconds later, he called. No way. You actually called the university? Pretended to be a journalist, I said, my voice hollow. They bought it. Damn, Ryan said, half laughing. You've got guts, man. That's savage. I leaned back, staring at the ceiling. Feels strange. Like I just flipped a switch inside me. He chuckled. You flipped it the right way. They deserve it. Jenna muttered, you two sound like villains in a bad movie. Ryan overheard. Hey, sometimes villains are just heroes who ran out of patience. Or empathy, Jenna said sharply. I ended the call and turned to her. You think I should just let it go? Pretend she didn't destroy me? I think you should heal, she said. This isn't healing, it's spreading the wound. Her words hung heavy, but I couldn't absorb them. Not yet. The next day, my email pinged. From University Disciplinary Committee. My pulse quickened as I opened it. Thank you for bringing this matter to our attention. A formal inquiry has been initiated into Professor Hunt's conduct and his relationship with Ms. Carter. Both parties have been suspended pending investigation. I exhaled, almost laughing. It worked. Jenna glanced up from the couch. What did? They suspended them, I said. Both of them. Her eyes widened. Already? 24 hours, I said. That's all it took. I set my phone down and looked at my hands. They were trembling, not from guilt, but from the raw rush of control. For the first time since she left, I wasn't the one being ignored. I wasn't the one in silence. Now, they were. And God, it felt powerful. My phone rang at 11:37 p.m., an unknown number. I almost let it ring out, but something in me hesitated. When I answered, all I heard was quiet breathing, then soft sobbing. Hello? I said cautiously. Ethan, the voice cracked. It's me. I froze. Emily? She sniffled. Yeah. Please don't hang up. I almost did. My thumb hovered over the screen. Why are you calling me? I didn't know who else to call, she whispered. Everything's gone, Ethan. They suspended my scholarship, my research credits, everything. I leaned against the wall. You mean your relationship with Professor Hunt finally caught up with you? Her voice broke. It wasn't like that. Then what was it, Emily? Because from where I stand, it looked exactly like that. She went silent for a few seconds, just the faint sound of her crying through the speaker. You don't understand, she said finally. He told me it would help my career. He said it was just mentorship, and then it got out of hand. I laughed bitterly. Mentorship? That's what we're calling cheating now. It wasn't cheating when I didn't even say yes to your proposal, she snapped suddenly, then gasped. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. The word stung, slicing through the thin layer of calm I'd built. No, you meant it. You just didn't expect me to hear it out loud. She exhaled shakily. I made mistakes, Ethan. I was scared, confused. I thought I wanted something else, something bigger. But now I've lost everything. I clenched my jaw. You blocked me, Emily. No explanation. No goodbye. Just silence. And now you want me to feel sorry because karma showed up? I didn't mean to hurt you, she said quietly. Yeah, well, you did. She was quiet again. Then, in a voice barely audible, she said, you ruined my life. I laughed under my breath. I ruined your life? You made your choices. You lied, you left, and you used him. I just told the truth. It wasn't love, Ethan, she said, her voice trembling. It was a mistake. A stupid, desperate mistake. I felt my heart twist. For a second, just 1 second, I wanted to believe her. To believe that she was the same girl who once stayed up all night helping me study, who smiled at my dumb jokes, who said she couldn't imagine life without me. But then the image flashed in my mind, her smile in that photo, her hand in his. Do you even remember what you said to me that night? I asked quietly. She sniffled. What night? The night I proposed. You didn't say yes. You didn't say no. You just walked away. I panicked, she whispered. I wasn't ready. But I never wanted to lose you. Funny, I said. Because you seemed perfectly fine losing me once he showed up. Please, she pleaded. You have to believe me. He promised to recommend me for a position abroad. I thought it would help my future. I didn't know that he was married. I interrupted. She hesitated. I did. My breath hitched. Then don't pretend it was confusion, Emily. You knew. There was nothing but silence on the other end. The kind of silence that feels heavy, like guilt. Ethan, she whispered finally, I wish I could take it back. I closed my eyes. Yeah. Me too. She inhaled sharply, like she wanted to say more, but I didn't give her the chance. I hung up. The quiet that followed was deafening. My phone buzzed once, twice, 3 times, but I didn't look. I couldn't. Jenna knocked lightly on my door. You okay? I forced a smile she couldn't see. Yeah. Just tired. Did she call? Yeah. What did she say? That karma has good timing. Jenna leaned on the doorframe. And what did you say? That it has a face, I murmured. Later that night, as I sat at my desk, my inbox pinged. From Academic Integrity Department. Subject, Appreciation for information provided. The message was short, your contribution helped uphold university standards. We thank you for your honesty and discretion. No names. No details. But I didn't need them. I leaned back, staring at the ceiling. My chest felt both heavy and light, like revenge had filled the space love once occupied. Emily's silence had once destroyed me. Now, mine destroyed her. I thought I'd feel lighter after it all. I didn't. Nights got quieter, but colder, like someone had turned down the heat and left the lights on. I wake up and expect her voice, but it never comes. Are you eating? Ryan asked when he came over. I'm fine, I lied, staring at the empty plate. You look haunted. He sat across from me. You did what you thought was right. Stop replaying it. I can't stop. I pushed the plate away. I traded one pain for another. You wanted justice. He shrugged. You got it. Justice feels hollow. I rubbed my temples. I wanted her to hurt. All I got was silence and proof she's broken. You knew there'd be consequences, Ryan said. I know. My voice was small. I just didn't imagine this. Jenna walked in, keys in hand. I left you a voicemail. She checked my face. You okay? No, I couldn't hide it. She crouched by me. Tell me what's going on. It's a letter. I unfolded it. It said, I hope you're proud. I've lost everything. Maybe that's what I deserve. Did it say who? Jenna asked. No return address. I swallowed. But I know who wrote it. She's not worth this, Jenna said. You didn't have to humiliate her. It wasn't just humiliation. I softened. Now it feels like that. For both of us. Ryan rubbed his face. You exposed wrongdoing. That's not a crime. But I lied. I looked at him. I pretended to be a journalist. So? Ryan said. People lie for good reasons. Does that make it okay? I snapped. Where's the line between standing up and becoming what you hate? When you can't sleep, he said. Then I'm past the line. I laughed hollowly. She called, crying. Said, you ruined my life. You answered? Jenna asked. I did. The memory tasted like metal. She said it was a mistake. She begged. I wanted to believe her. Then I saw the photo again. You regret it? Ryan asked. I regret the damage, I said. Not the truth told, but the harm to her, to us. Jenna squeezed my hand. You wanted fairness, not ruin. I wanted honesty, I said. I wanted her to look at me and tell the truth. Instead, I opened another wound. Ryan shook his head. So what now? Keep punishing yourself or try living? How do I move forward when the person I loved is hurting because of me? I asked. Start small, Jenna said. Apologize if you must. Get help. Don't define yourself by this. Apologize? The word landed heavy. To her? After she left me? To people we hurt, she corrected. Not just her. I let it sit. The letter felt like an accusation. My hands trembled. I thought I was protecting myself. I didn't see she'd become a casualty. You did what you thought was right, Ryan said softer. You can change course. I don't know if she'll forgive me, I whispered. Maybe she won't, Jenna said. But you can forgive yourself. I checked her socials again. Nothing. She vanished. I told them that. Gone? Ryan asked. Offline, I said. Deleted everything. That's weird, he muttered. People don't disappear unless they want to. Or someone made them, I said. Jenna's voice was calm. Maybe she needed to hide. You think she wanted this? I asked. No, she said. But hiding can be a way to survive. Ryan's phone buzzed. Work stuff, he said. You should try to sleep. For real. I'll try. I didn't believe it, but I said it anyway. I tried once. I was sitting at the same cafe where Emily and I had spent countless afternoons. The chair across from me was empty, but I kept glancing at it as if she might walk in any second. My coffee had gone cold when a familiar voice said, "You're Daniel, right?" I looked up. A girl stood there, long brown hair, nervous smile. Yeah, I said cautiously. Do I know you? I'm Lara. I used to be in Emily's thesis group. My chest tightened. Emily's friend? She nodded and pulled out the chair. Mind if I sit? Go ahead. I gestured. What brings you here? She hesitated, glancing around like someone afraid to be overheard. I heard, what happened? The call to the university. The rumors. Everything. I stared at her, jaw clenched. Rumors? You mean the truth? She sighed softly. That's what I wanted to talk about. You don't really know what happened between Emily and Professor William, do you? The way she said it made something in me freeze. I know enough. She slept with him. That's all there is to it. Lara leaned forward. That's not how it started. I frowned. What do you mean? Emily didn't cheat on you at first. She tried to fight it. But William, he threatened her. I blinked. Threatened her? How? He told her she'd fail her thesis unless she cooperated. He had power over her final grades, her research, her recommendation letters. She was terrified. I felt my heartbeat hammer in my ears. You're saying she didn't want it? She didn't, Lara said firmly. She went to him for help on her final project. He crossed the line. She told me once, she was scared that if anyone found out, they'd think she wanted it. So she just stopped talking to everyone. I leaned back, struggling to breathe. She cut me off, I murmured. Blocked me. Ignored me for days. I thought she was done with me. She wasn't, Lara whispered. She panicked. She said she didn't want you to see her like that, ashamed, trapped. I covered my face with my hands. Oh God. I called her university. I exposed everything. She never told anyone because she thought no one would believe her. When it went public, William denied it all. He said it was consensual. And she just vanished. My stomach twisted. Vanished? She dropped out a week later, Lara said quietly. Packed her things, left campus without telling anyone. I think she went back to her hometown. I stared at the table, the world around me blurring. I destroyed her life, I whispered. Lara shook her head. No, Daniel. William destroyed her life. You just didn't know. But I should have known, I said, voice breaking. I should have trusted her. Instead, I made her the villain. She loved you, Lara said softly. Even after everything. She told me once she wished she could explain, but she said you'd never forgive her. She was right, I said bitterly. I didn't. Silence settled between us. The noise of the cafe felt distant, unreal. Lara took a deep breath. I didn't know whether to tell you, but I thought you should hear it before it's too late. Too late? I looked up. She's not coming back, Daniel. She said she wanted to disappear and start over somewhere no one knew her. The words cut deeper than I expected. I swallowed hard. Do you have her address? She shook her head. No. Just that she's somewhere near Brighton Hills. That's all I know. I sat there, staring at my hands. I thought I'd feel better after exposing her. I thought revenge would fix the pain. But it just made everything worse. Lara's eyes softened. Maybe finding her won't fix things either. But maybe she deserves to hear that you finally know the truth. I nodded slowly. Maybe I do too. When she left, I stayed behind, replaying every memory, her laughter, her nervous smile, the night she whispered, "You're the only one who makes me feel safe." Safe. The word hit like a knife. I'd turned the one person who trusted me into a public scandal. I drove back to campus later that evening. The old dorm building looked deserted, half the windows dark. I found her old room number, 204. Someone else lived there now. A girl opened the door halfway. Sorry, Emily doesn't live here anymore. Do you know where she went? I asked. The girl shrugged. She moved out weeks ago. Left a bunch of books behind. I thanked her and walked away, my footsteps echoing down the hallway. For the first time in weeks, the anger was gone. Only guilt remained. I sat in my car for a long time, staring at the empty campus lights. Lara's words echoed over and over, she didn't cheat. She was scared. I started the engine but didn't drive. I just sat there, gripping the steering wheel, whispering into the silence, "I'm sorry, Emily. I was supposed to protect you." But she was already gone. I couldn't sleep the night before I left. Every thought was Emily, her voice, her laughter, her silence. By morning, I packed a small bag, called in sick to work, and started driving toward her hometown. The roads blurred beneath me. Every mile felt like penance. When I reached the small town, I found myself standing outside a modest, white-painted house with peeling edges. I hesitated before knocking. A woman opened the door, gray hair tied back neatly, eyes kind but cautious. "Can I help you?" "Hi," I said softly. "I'm Daniel. I used to be a friend of Emily's from university." Her expression shifted slightly. "Emily doesn't talk much about those days anymore." "I understand," I replied. "I just wanted to see how she's doing." She looked at me for a moment before sighing. "She's been quiet. Works at the bookstore downtown. Comes home tired, barely eats, barely smiles. She hasn't been the same since she came back." My throat tightened. "Do you think she'd want to see me?" Her mother shrugged. "I don't know. But maybe she needs to." I thanked her and left, my heart pounding as I walked toward the small bookstore at the end of Main Street. Through the glass, I saw her, hair shorter, frame thinner, face pale. She looked older, quieter. I stepped inside. The bell above the door chimed. She looked up, and for a moment, we both froze. "Emily," I whispered. Her lips parted slightly, her voice barely above a breath. "Daniel?" "Yeah. It's me." She stared for a long moment, eyes flickering between shock and exhaustion. "What are you doing here?" "I needed to see you," I said. "I know everything now. About William. About what happened." Her expression wavered. "Lara told you, didn't she?" I nodded. She did. I didn't know, Emily. I swear I didn't know. She turned away, pretending to straighten a stack of books. It doesn't matter anymore. It matters to me, I said firmly. I ruined your life. I thought you betrayed me, but it was me who betrayed you. She sighed, resting her hands on the counter. You didn't ruin my life, Daniel. It was already falling apart. You just helped it along. Her words stung, but she wasn't cruel. Just tired. I came here to say I'm sorry, I said, my voice cracking. If I could take it all back, every call, every accusation, I would. She finally met my eyes. Why now? Because I can't live with it, I admitted. I thought revenge would make me feel better, but it just hollowed me out. I miss you, Emily. I miss who we were. She looked down, silent for a while. Then she said softly, he ruined so much, Daniel. He took my confidence, my dignity, my peace. And I let the shame eat me alive. I didn't tell you because I didn't want you to get hurt too. I felt tears burning my eyes. You didn't have to protect me. You just had to trust me. I couldn't, she whispered. Not after what he did. I felt dirty, weak, and I thought you'd look at me differently. I never would've, I said. I would've stood by you. She smiled faintly. Maybe. But we were both too proud, too scared. I stepped closer. Can you ever forgive me? She studied my face, then nodded slowly. I already have. We both broke each other, Daniel. The least we can do is stop bleeding. Her voice trembled, but her eyes were soft. I wanted to hold her, but I didn't. I just stood there, letting her forgiveness sink into the cracks I'd carried for months. When I finally turned to leave, she whispered, "Goodbye, Daniel." I smiled faintly. Maybe not forever. I didn't think you'd come back, Emily said quietly, tracing the rim of her coffee cup. I almost didn't, I admitted. But something about that bookstore, about seeing you there. I couldn't walk away again. She smiled faintly. You always were stubborn. Persistent, I corrected, forcing a weak laugh. There's a difference. Her eyes lifted, softer now. Persistent men change the world. Stubborn ones break it. The words hit harder than I expected. I stared at the table between us, its scratched surface catching the sunlight. So which one was I? You were both, she whispered. You broke my world, then tried to fix it. I exhaled slowly, my chest tightening. I thought I was saving you. I didn't know what he did to you. If I had. You would have burned everything down anyway, she interrupted gently. You always lead with your heart, Ethan. It's what I loved most about you, and what scared me too. Silence settled between us. The clatter of dishes and soft hum of a ceiling fan filled the space where words should have been. Finally, I said, I came here to make things right. To help you get back to school, or... No, she shook her head before I could finish. I'm done with universities, professors, grades that depend on someone's power. I'm done chasing dreams that can be stolen. Her voice didn't tremble. It was steady, peaceful, even. Then what now? I asked quietly. She smiled, small and tired. Now, I live small. I read, I write, I sell books to people who still believe in happy endings. That's enough. I wanted to tell her it wasn't enough, that she deserved more. But for the first time, I realized how free she looked. I wish I'd known the truth sooner, I said. I could've. You couldn't have stopped him, she said, cutting me off. You would have fought for me, and maybe lost yourself in the process. I didn't want that. I already lost too much. Her words dissolved something inside me, anger, guilt, confusion. All that remained was a quiet ache. I'm sorry, I said finally. Not for calling the university. For not asking you why before I did. Emily looked at me for a long time before replying. I used to replay that night in my head, the call, the investigation, the chaos. I hated you for it. But when everything settled, I realized, maybe that was the only way to end it. My throat tightened. You're thanking me for ruining you? She smiled sadly. For freeing me. Even if it cost me everything. The wind outside rattled the windowpane. A leaf drifted past, landing softly on the sill. She glanced at it, then back at me. I'm stronger now, she said. Not because of what happened. But because I survived it. I nodded slowly. You always were stronger than me. She reached into her bag and placed something on the table. The ring. The same one I'd spent 3 months saving for. You should keep this, she said softly. Maybe give it to someone who still believes in fairy tales. I stared at it, the metal dull, but still holding a quiet shine. Emily, I didn't come here for closure. I know, she said. But sometimes, that's all that's left to give. Her eyes glistened, but no tears fell. Mine burned, though I blinked them away. Do you think, I began, if things were different? They weren't, she said simply. And maybe they never could have been. I swallowed hard, nodding. Then I hope you find peace. I already have, she said, her smile trembling. I hope you do too. We sat there for a while, two broken people sharing silence that didn't hurt anymore. When I finally stood to leave, she didn't stop me. She just said, "Goodbye, Ethan. Goodbye, Emily." Outside, the sky had turned gold with sunset. I slipped the ring into my pocket and walked toward my car. For the first time in months, I didn't feel anger, or guilt, or even love. Just peace, fragile, fleeting, but real. And as I drove away, I realized redemption doesn't rebuild what's lost. It teaches you how to live among the ruins, and still find beauty there. The email came on a quiet Sunday morning, tucked between spam and work notifications. The subject line read, "A new chapter." My hands trembled before I even opened it. "Hi, Ethan," it began. "I thought you should know, I've opened a small book cafe here. It's called Second Chances. Nothing big, but it's mine. I'm doing fine." That was it. No apologies, no promises, no, "I miss you." Just fine. For a long time, I stared at those words, rereading them until they blurred. Then I hit reply. "I'm proud of you, Emily. Really proud. You deserve peace." I hovered over send for nearly a minute before pressing it. Hours passed. No response. But somehow, I didn't need one. Later that night, Ryan called. "You look like a man who just saw a ghost," he said through a laugh. "Not a ghost," I said. "A memory that finally stopped haunting me." He paused. "You heard from her, didn't you?" "Yeah." I leaned back on the couch, staring at the ceiling. "She opened a cafe. She's happy, I think. And how do you feel about that?" I hesitated. "Lighter. I thought closure meant getting answers. Turns out it's just learning to live without them." Ryan sighed. "That's deep, man. Therapy's paying off, huh?" I chuckled. "Haven't started yet. But I will." "Good. Because revenge isn't a personality trait, no matter how poetic it sounds." "Thanks, Dr. Ryan." "Anytime," he said, before hanging up. The apartment fell silent again. I walked to my dresser, opened the small wooden box where the ring still sat. Its silver band gleamed faintly in the dim light, untouched, unchanged. Unlike me. I picked it up and whispered, "You were supposed to be the start of forever." The metal felt cold against my palm. I thought of Emily's face when she'd handed it back to me. The calm in her eyes. The way her voice didn't shake when she said, "You should save this for someone who still believes in fairy tales." I had believed once. I believed so hard it broke me. The next day, I walked into a pawn shop downtown. The bell above the door jingled softly. The old man behind the counter looked up. "What can I do for you?" I placed the ring on the glass. "I'd like to sell this." He studied it, then me. "Doesn't look worn much." "It wasn't," I said. He nodded, typing something into his register. "Beautiful piece. You sure you want to let it go?" "Yes," I said firmly. It doesn't fit my story anymore. He gave me a curious look, then handed over the cash. Good luck, kid. Hope whatever you're chasing finds you. Thanks, I murmured. I'm not chasing anymore. Outside, the cold air stung my face. I shoved my hands in my pockets and started walking, not toward anything, just away from who I used to be. That night, I sat at my desk, the money from the sale tucked in an envelope beside me. My laptop screen glowed softly as I typed, "Therapy centers near me." Scrolling through listings, I realized how strange it felt, choosing healing on purpose. For so long, pain had been my comfort zone. I found a place a few blocks away. Affordable. Walk-ins welcome. I filled out the online form and hit submit. Then I just sat there, staring at the confirmation email. Jenna knocked on my door a few minutes later. "You okay?" she asked, stepping in with her usual calm. "I think so," I said. "I sold the ring." Her eyes widened. "Seriously? After all this time?" "Yeah." I smiled faintly. It was time to stop worshipping what broke me. She sat beside me. "You know, when you first told me about Emily, I thought you'd never get over her." "I didn't," I said. "I just learned to carry the memory differently." Jenna nodded. "That's what healing is. Not forgetting, just remembering without bleeding." I looked at her, really looked at her. "Yeah," I whispered. "Exactly that." For a while, we sat in silence, the kind that felt warm instead of heavy. Later, when I was alone again, I found myself whispering into the quiet, maybe karma wasn't about punishing her. Maybe it was about teaching me who I really am. The words hung in the air, fragile but true. I thought about Emily somewhere far away, serving coffee, surrounded by books and the smell of new beginnings. I pictured her smiling, not the forced smile she used to wear in university, but something real. And I smiled too. Not because we'd found our way back to each other, but because we didn't need to. I wasn't her savior anymore. And she wasn't my unfinished story. I shut off the light, crawled into bed, and for the first time in a long time, sleep came easily. No ghosts. No guilt. Just quiet. As I drifted off, I realized closure doesn't come wrapped in forgiveness or second chances. Sometimes, it's just peace that doesn't demand explanation. And for the first time, that was enough.